Good evening. How professional was that?
Very fun.
Shameless plug. Come join us at Pool House. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
Right,
Just
surviving.
Surviving. Evening, Jill, Lawrence, Helen. Thank you, Helen. We've got Lynn and Colin's daughter Iona to thank for the filmmaking, which is Iona's been really helpful, and finally giving us a bit of a professional look that we've not had in the past. So, evening, Julie. So yeah, we're going to be obviously at Pool House in the 26th of October, just before Halloween. But yeah. Welcome to the show tonight. I thought we'd we'll kick off. I know that Lynn and Colin weren't at Strathpeffer on Friday night, but we did a Friends of Highland Paranormal event at Strathpeffer. It was an interesting night, wasn't it, Kyra and Richie?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, brilliant location.
Yeah. Some really interesting activity. Craig isn't here tonight. Neither is Hannah, unfortunately, but they had some really interesting pickups. So Hannah was in the attic area, which is where in the past, guys, you probably remember we picked up the EVP of American. So we were taking small groups up. So Hannah had gone upstairs with a couple of guests, and she witnessed, she said, somebody coming down the stairs. Craig was in a room opposite the stairs with a couple of guests. He came rushing through and said, "Did you hear that? Somebody just came down the stairs." So it kind of linked all in, which was really cool. Then on the balcony, Craig saw somebody crossing the floor. At the same time, down on the floor, lady from the trust was sitting there and she had a bad foot. She actually took a photograph, picked up orbs. Okay, I'm not going to go into the orbs situation, but the reason she took that photograph was because at exactly the same time as Craig saw somebody moving across the floor, she got a rush of air going past her. So again, that was really interesting. And Kyra, you picked up on a French connection.
Yeah, a French child actually. When we did our wee walk around, I'd picked up on child energy up in the office space. They couldn't think of anything that they'd experienced that could have been related to children, but we made contact with a wee boy called Jack. Hence where Frere Jacques I ended up coming from. And we were getting a little bit of conversation from him through dowsing rods. We actually had a REM pod go off as well, which was a very rare occasion. That was in the pump house. And, you know, when I was asking, could you step away or grab harder, the sound was changing. It was definitely doing it. So that was really interesting. We got that, you know, he'd been there with his mum while she'd been using the spa. So we're wondering if that could be the connection to what I'd picked up on in the house.
Yeah, really interesting. We had a nurse following us, so we had from the back of the pavilion where the morgue and another two outbuildings were during World War One. We kind of picked up on a nurse there, and she ended up coming over to the pump room. But funnily enough, she waited until half the group had gone out of the pump room to go around and investigate outside to make an appearance. But she connected in, and we got a cat ball going off in there as well. And you had a REM pod going off.
Yeah, that was in the pump house, which is very rare. We were really excited about it. We do have a video of it, so
I think I posted it up on Para, I think.
You might have done. Yeah.
I've got to edit the videos yet and try and pull a wee video together because I've got some footage from everybody of various things on the night. So yeah, really, really interesting night. As I was saying, we made £360 for the trust, which goes towards their Halloween event. So that I think will be used to give treats to the kids on Halloween. But if you're in the Strathpeffer area that weekend, it's well worth going down to the pavilion. It's always a great night there, great light show. I think the pump room is going to have a tribute to the bands that played there and whatnot. So always a good night down there. And I can tell you, we will be going back next year for at least 2 events. We'll be doing another one similar to what we did on Friday night, and then we'll be doing a sleepover. So that will be a public sleepover. So we will be bringing guests to that. So we'll put it out on Friends of Highland Paranormal first, and then we'll put them on public sale as well. But yeah, really, really looking forward to going back. It was a great night. The Trust had, again, they put a big screen up, old pictures. Fraser was there to talk through the history of the building. So all in all, yeah, really, really interesting evening. And I know that Lynn and Lindsay, you've been there before. I don't, Colin, I'm not sure if you've been to the pavilion or not. No.
My first visit might be the sleepover.
Yeah. So look at your sleeping bags. I'm not sleeping on the balcony, by the way. I would just like to say that. Yeah. Don't like that balcony.
I'll take one for the team.
Yeah. Can I still come if I snow? We're gonna designate an area for snoring. So that's fine. All the snorers can be together.
You never hear anything happening in that room then.
Yeah. So yeah, really, really looking forward to going back to that. And this week, or last week it was actually now, Lynn, you put up the video. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name.
I just make a stab at it. Probably a local pronunciation, because there's Tahoon Castle and it's spelt a weird way as well, but it was pronounced Tahoon. So Easter Quithies, I don't know if that's the right correct pronunciations. Name my locality.
Okay. And you found out a bit more information. I know you posted it on the page about the stone, but just in case people didn't see that.
Yeah, I just wondered about the red jasper. When I was talking about the red jasper stone, I was just wondering if it come locally, if it was found locally. I kind granite is really local to the area. Aberdeen's famous for its exported granite around the world. But yeah, I went online and did a bit of research. I've posted a semi-precious stone map of Scotland, and I've read up a bit more about it. It can be found in rivers. There's a river local, the Eithin, is it? Eithin. So there's a river and runs through Inverary, but it seems to be red jasper comes from the central belt, comes across Scotland. So it may have come quite a distance.
Yeah.
It's a big stone. So yeah, it may have come quite a distance.
It's fascinating because obviously the altar stone at Stonehenge they've now discovered came from up this neck of the woods somewhere. So it's quite, you do wonder, how did they move them? Yeah.
Probably sea would be my inland kind of thing, kind of dragging it up across land. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just theories.
Another mystery. Another mystery. Yeah. Oh well. So obviously we've done Strathpeffer. We are going to Pool House, as we mentioned. We're going to Durn House, and we're also, though it's sold out, we're going to Castle Fraser again. Are we excited for Castle Fraser, people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good one last year.
Well, we'll be filming it, so there'll be a film come time.
Excellent. Yeah, as I said, it was one of the ones. So often when you go to a location, it's been hyped. It's a disappointment, but Castle Fraser really wasn't a disappointment last year. And that's probably me jinxed it for this year, but hopefully not. You know, wonderful staff there as well, who really get it.
Close to Halloween as well.
Yeah. So sorry, Lindsay.
The veil will be thin.
It will indeed.
So
It
yeah,
will indeed.
we'll get some good communication.
Yeah, really, as I said, really looking forward to that one. Pool House again, as I said, it's another one that normally gives us something. So looking forward to going back there. It's the last day of the Mary Queen of Scots exhibition, so looking forward to that because they've added in more things in since the last time we were there. And if you haven't had the opportunity to go and you can't come when we're there, try and get there beforehand because it really is worth seeing. It was quite funny being in the exhibition there was quite a feeling in there, wasn't there? Sadness and I don't know if it's because we know what happened to it or what. There was suggestion, but yeah, it was really interesting, and we do get the opportunity to go into the exhibition with the equipment, and therefore we're in proximity of items that are reported to have belonged to Mary Queen of Scots herself. So it's a pretty unique opportunity to get so close to that. And then obviously, as we posted this week, the Titanic, as we now have the Titanic room, almost the children's room at Pool House, and the activity that goes on in there. But it's a house that is always delivered for us. I mean, I remember, Lynn, when you and me went up there to do a walk round, we were getting activity. The Dutch YouTube guys didn't last the night. They did a runner. So yeah, it's a really, really fascinating place with fascinating history. So really looking forward to that. We're obviously then going to start looking at what we can do next year. We do have a couple more investigations this year, probably on the books. We can't say too much at the moment, but we'll hopefully have more information on them. What I will say is we're back at the Battlefield Bar for another open meet, probably our last open meet, will be our last open meet of the year, on the 11th of November. And what I will say is prior to that date, the team will be investigating the Battlefield Bar. So we will be telling you on the 11th what we found, if we find anything. Now, Barry had some really good interaction at our last open meet there. So fingers crossed, we'll get something. Staff and some of the regulars have reported activity. So it'll be really interesting to see. And for those of you who don't know the location, it's basically behind the government lines on Culloden Battlefield. So it's just off the battlefield as such, just behind between what's known as Cumberland Stone and the battlefield. So yeah, really, really interesting location. So looking forward to going back to that. So yeah, so I suppose so far, guys, put you on the spot here because I didn't ask you beforehand about this. What's been your highlight of this year?
Ooh, good question.
Getting into Abertarf House.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, good answer, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just such an experience. Although we didn't have crazy activity, what we did get was really solid and just an honour to get in there. So I think that's probably got to be my highlight for the year so far.
It's a pretty good one.
Although
Yeah.
Pool House was very good as well at the start of the year.
Yeah, Pool House is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are lucky, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Len and Colin?
Probably Robert the Doll in Key West.
Yeah.
Will
Yeah.
be Castle Fraser when it
Yeah,
comes.
Castle Fraser will be it.
Yeah, but probably Robert the Doll in the fort at Key West.
That
That
was
was-
cool.
Robert the Doll was quiet,
Mm.
but we got other activity connected to the fort, so that was good.
Yeah, my t-shirt getting pulled during the talk.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was quite something else.
That's
And
awesome.
And I've now got microphones, so we go anywhere with fans in the future, we'll be able to hear Colin.
Yeah, roaring voice warning at the bottom of the
Yeah,
screen.
well, we've done the same. We've bought a couple of mics as well because when we actually went to Castle Roy, the audio was just terrible. You just couldn't hear what was being said. Not helped by the fact it was extremely windy. So, but yeah, we bought a couple of mics as well. So,
well. So when she goes round filming Castle Fraser, well, there'll be 2 years mic'd up in the group. So
Perfect. How about you, Lindsay?
I was just thinking that I've missed quite a lot of the events this year just because of poor health and but what I've really enjoyed about this year is helping people, um, getting out and doing some of the sort of private investigations. I think that's within the last year. Like somebody was terrified out their house, and getting them back in the house was a huge thing. And also being involved with a case that involved children, or a potential case that involved children. So I really enjoy that aspect, as well as the kind of like events things. So I find that really fulfilling, I think, when you can actually help people sleep. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true.
No, it's true. I don't think anything beats that, to be perfectly honest. The private work that we do, and when you do help people, and I know I did a post the other week, I'll touch on it maybe in a wee while, about an individual that we went and helped who was terrified of what was going on or wasn't going on in her house, but that is very, very satisfying to be able to help people. Barry saying Murdo's reaction to me. So that was a private case, but that was really fascinating, from the fact that Barry connected with somebody who knew him in life. So that was really, really interesting. Lawrence is saying Strathpeffer. Yeah. Yeah. Ellen's asking, where was the place you guys went to? The lady at the house elf. Was Lawrence saying that was Touchwood House? So yeah. There's Scott in. Evening, Scott. So yeah, lots of amazing things that we've done this year. So yeah, I'll talk about the obviously we got quite a bit of reaction to the post. I'm not going to go into details, obviously from a client confidential point of view, but yeah, we were called out to a private house that another team had investigated. Said other team had basically left the house telling the person that they had an entity in the house, and a couple of days later contacted them again and said, for £275, we can clear your house for you. Now, the individual involved lived on her own, was terrified, had been terrified from that night until we got there. We basically investigated, found absolutely nothing in the house going on. We explained how equipment works to her. We had offered to actually smudge the house for her. Not something we normally do, but under the circumstances, we said, yeah, we'll do that for you. But actually, she was so relieved. She said it's like a weight off my shoulders, that we all agreed the house didn't need smudged. And so everything has been fine since. So that's a really, really good outcome on that one. Yeah, that's been that one for me from a private point of view this year's definitely been a special one, just helping somebody. Because we've had a few private ones this year, folks, let's be honest, where people haven't listened to us. We maybe not have all the answers. But we're never going to turn around and tell people that they've got something just because it suits their agenda. If we don't find anything, we don't find anything. It's as simple as that. So yeah. 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 There was a similar response when we got back to the car, Helen, I can tell you. I think the two of us that were there that turn night just turned around and looked at each other without saying another word and said, £275. So yeah, it was absolutely shocking. So as I said at the time, we're not saying come and use us. There's other groups out there you're more than entitled to, but please, people, please don't part with money. it's not going to make any difference. It really isn't. You know, so just be careful. That's all I'm going to say on the subject as of now. Yeah. So if anyone's got any questions for us tonight, feel free. I'm going to ask a. Oh, wait a minute. We got one here. Scott Sellant. There's a team down this way that offered to clear houses. No experience, nothing. We know a couple of them personally. They couldn't clear a house with a Hoover and a transit van. Thank you, Scott. Perfectly put. So yeah. So while we're waiting, I don't think Lindsay, Lynn, and Colin have seen it, but Kyra and Richie, did you enjoy Beetlejuice?
Absolutely loved it. I
great.
cackled through the whole movie. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I loved it too. I hope everyone that's had a chance to see it has enjoyed it as well. I did notice that there's a new film coming out to do with Amityville,
Oh, is there?
and it's based around a paranormal investigator.
Oh.
Yeah, so but it's going straight to streaming, so no cinema release for it. But I'll find the trailer and I'll post the trailer on the page so folk can see. I just saw it tonight. I was looking through some movie trailers before I came on tonight and saw that. So yeah, need a scare. And then obviously we're going to HorrorCon. Yay! So it's a bit daunting, to be honest, because we're going to be in the spotlight a little. So if you are coming along, please come and say hi to us, and hopefully come to one of our sessions. So we're going to do a couple of interactive sessions where we'll give you the chance to use some of our equipment, and hopefully connect with the Green Lady, who is said to haunt Eden Court. There is supposed to be other spirits there as well, but who knows what we'll pick up on. So yeah, we will be there all day long, and we're doing a Q&A as well, whatever that is. So yeah, it's yeah, really looking forward to that coming up in October as well. In fact, that's our next thing, I think, really.
Yeah.
Talk to Me and Hereditary. I haven't seen either of them, I don't think.
No.
No.
Maybe we should start doing Highland Paranormal and Friends trips to the movies at the theatre and all go and watch them together.
That's an idea, actually, through the winter months. Because
Find out that jump.
see who the screamers are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scott saying, don't get me started on Amityville. Yeah. Yep. Gemma saying HorrorCon looks awesome. Yeah. So Scott from Paranormal History and Scott and Sarah are coming up to Inverness, so they'll be at HorrorCon as well. So looking forward to seeing those guys. Gemma saying, "Talk to Me" is brutal. So yeah, there's not many good horror films out there, to be honest.
No.
They're all pretty much alike, unfortunately. So yeah.
Still my favourite.
What one?
Poltergeist is my favourite, I think. Still
It's
gives
a
me
classic.
creeps.
Ellen saying her wedding video. Yeah, I must say Psycho for me still does it. Mr. Bates. Yeah, Norman. Yeah.
My one that freaks me out the most, and it's so bizarre, and it's I Know What You Did Last Summer. And do you know what it is about it? The anticipation and how long they get chased. I'm like, just get it over. I don't like this. Get chased.
Yeah, Murdoch says got to be Mr. Myers for me.
Awesome.
Yeah. But no, lots of there. I mean, there is a lot. I mean, I actually went back and watched a couple of 80s horror films, and I enjoyed them much more than the kind of current crop of films that are coming out. Because I think back then, because Well, one, actually, the special effects were pretty good for the time, and they stood up, but they didn't rely on CGI. And I think they basically, you got this thing where the monster would be slowly revealed, you know, which was yeah, much better. Yeah, we're getting all the classics now. Helen says Entity for me.
Yeah,
Mm.
trying not to think about
Pet Cemetery.
it at once, and that just
I was just thinking about a hammer.
Yeah, Hammer. I love my Hammer horror myself, Barry and Colin. So, yeah.
Some of the plots nowadays, it's going the same way that a lot of the American ghost hunting shows are. Like, they start off good and believable, and then they just do something stupid, and you're like, well, that just removes anything, that's remotely believable about that. I like the ones that could actually happen rather than the weird ones.
Yeah. Fear Street. Yeah, Fear Street was good. I did watch that actually on I forgot all about that on Netflix. That was good. But again, it had that 80s vibe about it that was, yeah. Friday the 23rd. Yeah.
I love Rose Red. You watched it with me not long ago. It was kind of the first thing I ever watched. It was a bit more spooky, and it's just stuck with me ever since. It's a long watch, but because it was more of a TV series, but it was really good.
Yeah. Julie saying, member of Paranormal Guernsey here, put me in a haunted castle, no problem. I can't watch horror films though. Yeah, the first Halloween film was really good. Yeah.
I still checked behind me in the dark when I get in the car.
Yeah. And Lindsay. Yeah. You know what they say about people like that, Lindsay, don't you?
I think it's a psychopath, but I've got some friends with me, so it's okay. I'm in.
Posted a meme with a cat, and we can't watch a film where the cat dies, but we can watch true crime and murders to relax, kind of thing.
100%.
Yeah.
I put on the murder mysteries to fall asleep too.
I say I listen to true crime podcasts, and that's what I go to.
Yeah.
Kindred
I'm worried.
As you
I'm
may
worried.
be worried about the psychopaths that Lynn and I are.
Yeah, I'm more scared of a spider than a ghost.
Yeah.
Not telling a lie. The only time you hear me scream is when I see a spider. Luckily,
You weren't at Stud Pepper, that's all I'm saying.
Oh,
I never saw it, so I don't know how big it was, but I
We
heard
walked
about
right
it.
past it, didn't we? And you turned around and went, "Oh my god!" It was like just sitting on the floor.
I'm okay as long as you can't see the hair on their backs. As soon as you can see the hair on their backs, like no.
This one behind us makes short work of them in our house.
Yeah, Una has the 3 that came in this year. She killed 2, and she was running around all excited and said, "What?" And she showed me the dead spider by her food bowl.
He doesn't leave him behind.
Colin, get this dead spider out of the way. He says, "Hoover it up." No, somebody's got you stick your hand up the Hoover and it gets stuck, and I'm making the pull a dead spider out. It's spiders. That's my kryptonite.
Dog soldiers, yeah.
Oh, I watched Dog Soldiers. That was quite good for a low budget film.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have laughed.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of reptiles neither. Snakes you can keep as well.
Oh no, I'm not bothered with
No.
snakes or beasties or spiders. No.
Yeah. That's just totally out of context. Yeah. No, I've never watched Arachnophobia
What?
and never will watch Arachnophobia.
Yes.
I used to work with a lady who we were sitting in a meeting room one day and she was telling us she had a fear of spiders. Another colleague had a tub of blueberries from, I think it was Tesco's, and out of this tub came a tiny little spider, and I mean tiny little. All I heard was a scream followed by a dash out the door. And she would not come back in until the spider had been put out the window.
Mhm.
And she was shaking.
Mhm.
She, poor woman was absolutely shit. And she lives in London. And she said when Arachnophobia was on and they had the big billboard posters, she had to change her route that she drove. She had no joke. She couldn't look at them. I mean, just go. You fears is crazy, isn't it? I mean, some of the things, you know, you can get scared of.
Apparently, the psychologists in Murray, for their desensitization, they've got a dead tarantula in a box for spiders. They offered me to desensitize me, and I'm nope. Just
Yeah.
even thinking about it, no.
Yeah, there's another. Yeah, wasps.
Spider fan, I wouldn't say, but the one that gets me is the giant moths. And
No.
my uncle is always bringing them in his presents, and they're so fast, and all you can hear is the wings. Like, no, get them out. But yeah, that's the
The
worst
thing is, I can catch a daddy long legs and put it outside. It's like,
Yeah, I know people are terrified of them.
no, no,
Yeah.
bother.
Yeah. If they're small, I've not got a problem. But when they get a bit bigger, that's that's
There's
when I.
little money spiders, but that gets bigger than that, and these giant house spiders, they're full of pint pots. And I was
Long legs.
chapter one, and I was waiting for Colin to come back in, and it was pinging the glass with its legs, ping, ping, ping.
Yeah. Yeah. Reminds of Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
If nobody's watched it, the True Detective one, the dead, the Nightland.
Like something.
The new True Detective. It's a bit supernatural. The warning. There's got some salacious sex scenes in it. That's too much for me, but it would be good a story without them. But it's got a supernatural buzz to it, so I really liked it. And Jodie Foster was excellent in it.
She won an award for it.
Just I'd watched
All right. Yeah, I think it did. What's that on? Is it on Sky or?
It's Sky Atlantic, I think.
All right.
You could buy it in platforms, but I watched 4 of them in a plane and had to wait till I was going to get the 2 on the way back, but they changed it. So I had to wait to get home to download the last 2.
Yeah.
But it was really good. It was really good supernatural buzz to it this time.
Cool. I'll try and check out. Murdoch, I think you've got a new job, mate. I think you've got a calling. Yeah, I think you could be the next superhero if you're obsessed with picking up those huge spiders. There's definitely a job there.
Not killing them if they have. I like to pet them out. But Una May when I got Una May as a kitten, the bookshelf in the corner, she'll run under there when she was a kitten, and now outrun a big giant house spider followed by her after it. So I think that's where she gets her obsession with them.
Yeah.
But did she win? She won an Emmy for it.
Night Country.
Night Country.
Right.
Set in Alaska. And
good watch.
When the sun goes down and disappears for a couple of weeks.
So it's dark all the time. Yeah.
And it was actually
Cool.
filmed there, so it was quite good.
Barry's friend keeps a huntsman spider in his house. No, thank you.
He's
No.
just a part of a huntsman.
Yeah. Ah, dear. Yeah. So yeah. Oh well, beasties, eh? And unfortunately, when you do what we do, you do encounter them. But tell you, Steve Gonzalez, he is terrified by spiders.
Oh,
Have you seen it? Yeah, have you seen Ghost Hunters? Yeah, yeah.
you're
He's
dark, you can't see them though. So if you can't see them, that's fine.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's not fine. I start going like this all the time, thinking they're coming.
it's when you're in the dark and you walk through cobwebs.
Yes,
Yeah, and you know trouble is ahead.
spider.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe you'll take one home with you. That's what Murdoch says. They can see you though.
We're going to have to do like one of those crime watch things when we finish. Don't have nightmares, do sleep well.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I didn't dream of spiders.
No, it's true.
My nightmares are about giant gorillas, but that's another story.
Oh well. I used to have a recurring dream about a werewolf chasing me around my old primary school.
That's my recurrent nightmare is giant gorillas. I put it due to watching King Kong way too young. Then when you get anxious about things, I think it bubbles up.
Yeah. I did have a nightmare once about worms. And it was a bit public because I think it was a night where there was a party and I fell asleep and then I was shouting and screaming about worms apparently. But there you go. Only once I had that nightmare, but it was very vivid. It was a lot of worms and I didn't like it. Worms in general don't bother me. But they did that night. Yeah. Yeah. I was the monster afraid under my bed. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, I've talked about this before. When I was a kid, I was terrified of the dark. And now I'm quite happy to walk around anywhere in the dark. It doesn't
You
bother
weren't
me in
allowed.
the slightest.
We weren't allowed as kids to put a light on, leave a light on. It was the lights were out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a secret. I still sleep with my hall light on.
When he was night shifts, and especially with something spooky that happened in the house, the light was always on in the hall, and sometimes the bedroom.
I see if there's anything there.
But both
Or
up in
did it?
bed, be fast asleep, and saw shimmering kind of head shoulders at the bottom of the bed, being 3-4 feet tall. That the bedside light stayed on for a long time after that.
Yeah, that's why mine's on. My theory is that if there was ever either a human or a spirit, I want to see it. I would rather see it than not see it.
I'd left the downstairs light on because he was coming in late shift. With kids in the house, I'd kind of like to be orientated if because I live in the country. I want to see how far I'm going on the Braxton, and that's cast the light in to see the bottom of the bed. So like right, and I was like down over the covers, and it was hand out to put the light on. It's like, oh my god, that was before I was a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
I'm the same as Barry.
Yeah.
I have blackout curtains. I've got an eye mask. Everything. Pitch black.
Proper vampire.
Yeah, we've established that a few times, haven't we?
I hate slugs. Yes, I do hate slugs, but that's a different story. You've heard my slug story, I think.
No.
No? Okay. So one morning, I got up in the morning, made my breakfast, made my tea. Tea tasted rather strange. Sorry, Lynn.
No.
No.
Didn't think much of it. Went to work, came home, went to fill the kettle up again, looked in the bottom of the kettle, and there was a slug. Slug tea's not nice, people. Since that day, I have had a glass kettle. I have had a glass kettle since that day. Yeah, it was yeah, it was not good. I can still taste it. It was not not good. No.
Can we get a glass kettle?
If you want it.
To be fair, it was an old kettle, and the filter bit on the top had obviously lost or broken off. So that the slug had obviously through the night crawled up and gone into the kettle.
What either?
Yeah, and in the morning I picked the kettle. Oh, there's plenty of water in it. I don't need to fill the kettle up. Just boil it, and there you go. So yeah, don't judge me, people. But yeah, not good.
The
not
level
good.
had been a little bit higher than it was the night before.
Yeah. So if you don't have a glass kettle, people, my advice is every morning check it, just in case.
But a boiling tap. Sometimes the slugs creep in the conservatory with the doors open, and we can there's one because we see a trail in the morning. But we've got a boiling tap.
Yeah.
Checking
I
my
had a
tea.
few words I can tell you.
I'll be checking my teapot now.
Yeah, no, never not been a fan of slugs since that day. Definitely not. Yeah. No, well. So there we go. So we found a few new things out tonight, haven't we? New age tea. Slug tea. No. I don't even think the hippies could drink the slug tea. Like, no. No, trust me, mate. When you tasted the tea, it is the only time I've ever drunk slug tea. Quite a bitter taste, shall we say? Yeah.
I thought in fact it was boiled.
You ate snails in France.
Yeah,
You ate snails in France.
yeah, but they were in lovely butter and garlic sauce, and
Maybe if you had a bit of the
they were
garlic,
cooked.
enjoy
Yeah,
it.
I mean the poor slug got boiled. I mean,
I just thought about that. That's even worse.
yeah, well, that's what he gets for going in my kettle.
You're offending the vegetarians among us.
Oh yeah, sure. These are the same vegetarians that are quite happy to kill spiders and other bugs. So
I put them out.
I don't kill them. The cat does, but I don't.
yeah, yeah. So there you go. Slug tea, everybody. Don't try it. Oh, don't try it. Yeah. So I don't know. I was trying to think. There's the Conjuring House nonsense seems to have died down a bit.
Well, there was another post the other day, was it?
Mm-hmm.
An update.
I did notice one after.
I've never looked at it.
She's been in hospital, out of hospital, sending messages through PayPal, sending like 3 cents with a message to people.
That's a recent one, isn't it?
She's been contacting newspapers and then falling out with the newspapers when they won't print her articles. That seems to be the latest.
Yeah, she clearly completely lost the plot. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that one ends up. Definitely.
Skinwalkers, I just nail on started. I think it's 3rd week. This week, so it's interesting.
Yeah. Have they picked up this series? Anything so far?
They some animals had died, and then they'd got a zoologist in to look at the carcasses, and there was teeth marks in it, and they're through the bone. So it's a powerful animal to do, and he tried it with a bear tooth and coyote teeth, and they shattered, and they weren't big enough. The closest example he's got is a dire wolf, and they have been extinct for about 10,000 years. But there's these things about time slips. So there's a previous owners that swore there was a large wolf like a dire wolf. They were walking down the river, and they came across this carcass in the river. So they took the jawbone and sent it to the zoologist, and he's compared it to modern day wolves and coyotes, and it's a bigger muscle attachment, is deeper. It's not quite as deep as a dire wolf, but it's deeper than a modern wolf or a coyote. So it's really it's focusing a lot on that. And it's a lot more. They keep going up with GPS things and rockets and things and helicopters, and they get weird results. If they're putting them down under the ground, when the rocket is obviously going up hundreds of feet in the air, the data is pointing down under the mesa, or they're missing gaps in it. So yeah, it's quite interesting. There's something above the triangle. Is it a bit in the road? Is it a triangle that called it triangle? There seems to get the regions and anomalies. There's maybe something there that's cloaked or it's shifting in and out of phase. So that's the story so far. But yeah, they're collecting a lot of good hard.
Cool.
Yeah, no, and they're good. I mean, they're scientists, so they repeat a lot to see if they get the same result twice, or which is good practice.
Yeah. Oh, that's really, really interesting. Yeah. I need to start catching up on some of this stuff. I haven't actually watched much.
On the UEP front for folk, if you want to go into Twitter or X, whatever it's called these days, and Google the James Webb Telescope, there was a lot of chatter over the weekend about the James Webb Telescope having actually confirmed life on another planet, and there's Congress hearings going on. Some reporter asked a congressman, have you been briefed? And he wouldn't answer. He wouldn't confirm or deny. So there's a lot of rumbling going on that it's been confirmed. The senators and congressmen know about it, but it's as usual, the public is not being told. But I think we're on a path to disclosure. So once it becomes common knowledge and accept life happens on other planets, like with this planet, extra.
Yeah.
Terrestrial life.
That we'll accept that life can be a commonplace thing. But yeah, so it's interesting. I'll follow that story.
Yeah, interesting times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a good podcast and a YouTube channel called Need to Know. It's run by Ross Coulthard. He's an Australian journalist. He's written books on UAPs, and he's the American guy is Bryce Zabel. He wrote and produced Dark Skies a few years ago. They do that show together, so they are really on top of everything.
Yeah, no, it sounds fascinating, and I'm sure we'll post up when you hear anything. We'll get it on. We'll definitely get it on the page. When those in charge think that we're ready. Ready to be told. I'll just say that this comment from Barry was put up before you started talking, Lynn, so it's not well, we're all a bit weird. But I just thought I was just holding it back. There you go. Yeah, Lindsay's.
Yeah, quite right, Lindsay.
Spot on there. Yeah. 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 And Barry, I'm pretty sure you've worked out before tonight that we're weird. Yeah. Yeah. So
Louis Elizondo's book is out. I've got the audio version of it. I can't seem to have time to sit and read an actual book, so I can play it in the car. And it's quite good. It offers a lot of explanation to why we don't get good photographs of these craft. and how they can move like that. So if you're into that, it's worth a read or a listen. There's a lot. He's been doing a lot of interviews, so you'll if you just put him on YouTube, you'll pop up a lot of interviews, and you get the gist of that he covers in his book. But it's a good listen or read.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. We need to put more of that kind of stuff on the page because we don't actually put a lot up. So we need to do that because I know there's quite a few of us interested in it.
He does speak about orbs in it, but the little things we see on the videos and pictures. When he first was offered the job at ATIP, it was called a sticky portfolio. And he wondered about that for a long time. And once he started in the job, he said that there was white and green orbs, not blue ones, would appear in his house at random points. His family saw them, neighbours saw them, and he was the only one in the team that happened to. And once he quit the job, it stopped, kind of thing. So that are they paranormal or are they an alien thing? It's quite interesting to read and listen to.
Yeah. No, I was saying, Murdoch saying, yeah, he would definitely like to be more interested for us to post some more stuff around that. I will say, with regards to the HorrorCon spiel, Murdoch, go look at Ghostbusters and the advert. I stole it deliberately. Evening, Mark. I hope things in New Zealand are going well. Or I should say, probably say good morning. I'm sure it's probably morning there. All's good. So, with regards to those who were watching, was it Saturday evening? Yes, it was Saturday evening. I have not heard back from Mikey and team. I've sent them a message, so I don't know how their evening went. But as soon as I do, I will let you know. And we're going to try and get some more guests on over the winter months. I'm going to try and get Mr. Wallbank back on at some point once we can work out the logistics of New Zealand time against Scottish time. We'll do so. We'll get something. It's been ages since we've spoken to Mark. I think last time it was Mark and Sam from Paranormal New Zealand came on. So definitely going to try and get some more folk on. And I think the other thing I was going to try and do is, I've always said, try and get people on from different kind of areas. So maybe get somebody on who can talk about UFOs. I can have the night off, and Lynn can take over and chat away about UFOs and whatnot. So if anyone's interested, let us know. Then anybody can come who wants to come on. The other thing I'm thinking about doing, but I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to do it, is have what we call an open bar, where basically we just go, right, guys, who wants to come on tonight for the chat? And we'll get some of you guys on and just have the banter and whatnot. So I might try that and see how it goes. I might need to take a bottle of whiskey with me or something like this.
I'm saying, if you can trust me to be an ally, you can trust probably most people, to be fair.
You're being unfair. Yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely do that over the winter months, because obviously we're not going to be out and about the same over the winter months. We kind of things slow down. So while we'll still be doing private casework, we'll be taking a break from events as such. So the open meet on the 11th November will be our last public in-person event this year. There's no plans to do any other ones. But as I said, from April again next year, we'll be kicking things off. I know Gemma's joined us now, but as I said earlier, Strathpeffer Pavilion, we're looking at doing 2 there, definitely. And who knows where else next year we'll end up. We have been trying to get other locations, and some have just come back and asked for silly money. So that's not gonna happen, because one of the things that's important to us as well is that when we do these public events, we keep the prices reasonable. So we've ruled out doing certain locations because yes, we could go and do them, but it would cost an absolute fortune let anyone come and join with us. So yeah, we'll wait and see. The other thing we're going to be doing, and we're really excited about, is we are going to Edinburgh in March. So we'll have plenty of lives, hopefully, when we're there. We're hopefully looking to catch up with some of the teams down there and do some investigating with the teams. So once we've got more information on that, we will let you know. Yeah. Yes, we'll be sure to try and catch up with you guys, Scott, when we're down, if time allows it. Do you know what, Lindsay? I did mean that. I did mean that. If you want to come on and have a wee drink, whether it's alcoholic or not, you can. It'll be a relaxing evening. Put it that way. It's not going to be, it's just going to be getting the crack with like-minded people. So I'm talking about pretty much what we'll be doing tonight, actually, talking about everything. No real subject as such, just,
We could do that near a Christmas and be it festive.
Yes, that's a very good idea, Lynn. I like that. We could definitely do a festive one.
Who's dressing up as Santa?
I think Liam, he's got some interesting outfits that he could wear as Mrs. Santa.
I've just getting Margaret didn't arrive in time for tonight. I'd have worn it, That's a little joke. If anybody's friends with me on Facebook, they'll know all about it. I'm a bit concerned about some of the items of clothing that Facebook thinks I need. But there you go. Yeah. No, I'm not picking up the tab for the open bar. You have to bring your own. And I need to double check how many people we can get on StreamYard as well, because there is a limit, I think. And even doing it through Facebook, there's a limit as well. So there we go. Your cat's going mental, Lindsay.
Yeah, she's just started going crazy. So yeah, we'll see how the evening develops now.
Oh well, there you go. So that was a quick hour. That was a very quick hour.
It was quick.
A massive thanks to everybody for joining tonight and getting the crack with us. There'll be lots more. We've still got some more from Strathpeffer to pick through, so we will definitely be publishing some video and hopefully some audio. I've only listened to one part of the audio so far. That was specific to see if it picked up something. Sadly, it didn't. But I will be getting that done.
Yeah, the scream that we got on the balcony was not picked up.
No. Got him.
All right.
Right. Because that's the other thing I forgot. We had the scream in the restaurant.
Oh yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
With the canvas.
When the picture, basically the canvas fell out of the frame and smashed onto the floor while everybody was sitting in the restaurant, and apparently that's never happened before. So that was I totally forgot about that. That was really interesting. So yeah. But yeah, a massive thanks again to everybody. So just very quickly, as I said, dates wise, we're at HorrorCon on the 12th of October, Saturday, 12th of October. That is, I think, if you've not got an early bird ticket, it's from 11 o'clock till 4. You can come in. Tickets you can get them through the site. Our banner's got the URL as well for HorrorCon. So if you're local to Inverness or not so local and fancy a trip to Inverness, come up and support it. It's the first ever HorrorCon, so it would be really cool if it can be a success and they'll come back again hopefully next year and do it all again. And maybe, bigger. Certainly no Comic Cons come back a couple of times now, so hopefully you can do the same for HorrorCon. And having the Glasgow one, I know it's a bigger scale, but having seen some of the pictures from Glasgow at the weekend, it looked absolutely awesome. And there's even a prize if you dress up. So yeah, come along, folks. It'll be great fun. Then I said Pool House on the 26th of October. There is some tickets left for that. That is a daytime event. That's to allow people to travel to and from Pool U on the same day. So it starts at 2 o'clock. I think it's, yes, 2 o'clock till 2 till 5, basically, which should then give you enough time to get to the Chippy and Gairloch before it closes, if you need to. Chippy better be open. I kind drive all the way back to Inverness without having anything to eat. And then Durn House on the 2nd of November, which will be our last investigation event of the year. But as I said, we're then back on the Monday, the 11th of November at the Battlefield Bar in Inverness or Culloden. And we will be talking about what we've picked up in that location. So if you get the chance to come along to that, please do. We had a really good turnout at the last one. So it'd be great to see us all again. So massive thanks, guys. Take care. Sleep well. Don't have nightmares. And check your kettle. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.